Hey everyone, welcome back. So for this week's video, I'm thinking that we can repaint a My Little Pony. I don't really know much about them. I missed the whole brony phenomenon that happened a few years back, but I think they were pretty cute, and I've seen a lot of cute customs on Instagram, so why not give it a shot, right? I'm thinking I want to do a kind of dark and stormy, like lightning type of theme pony. I don't really know where I'm going with it, but I know I want to use some kind of purples, grays. That's like my aesthetic. Love it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, let's start by removing the pony's hair. I'm just taking some sharp hair cutting scissors and removing her mane and her tail. Next, I'm going to take some acetone and remove her factory paint. And the cutie mark's gotta go too. Now I'm gonna dunk her in some boiling water. And now that her plastic is nice and soft, I'm gonna pull off the head in this terrible shot. And I took an X-Acto and cut out the neck peg. So here's the pony all disassembled. I'm gonna give her some little tiny horns, so I'm gonna use some Apoxie Scuplt and sculpt directly onto the pony head. I'm gonna let these horns dry for 24 hours and then I'm gonna remove them, because we'll glue them back on later. Now with my surface primer, I'm gonna prime the pony. I sprayed 2 light coats on the pony. It doesn't need to be totally opaque because we're airbrushing next. I mixed up a nice pretty purple and just loaded that up into the airbrush. And I'm gonna start spraying her down. So off camera, I actually did purple as the base, and I used a metallic black to kind of do an ombre effect on the bottom of the hooves and work that up, as well as on the top of the ears, which you'll see in a minute. I love airbrushing so much. It's seriously so satisfying. So after the horns dried, I painted them with a silver acrylic paint, and now I'm just taking this chrome nail powder and buffing that into the horns. It's gonna give it a really awesome shine. Now they almost look like metal. It's so pretty. Now I'm going to start sketching out her cutie mark with a white watercolor pencil. I wanted to do a lightning bolt with like a kind of rainstorm in the background. Now taking some white model color paint, I'm going to start carefully trying to draw this cutie mark, which was a little challenging for me. I haven't repainted anything in a little while, so I felt like I was a little rusty, but I think it turned out okay. Now I'm just going to let that white dry, and I'm going to go over it with silver later. But for now, let's move on to the eyes. Again, I'm taking my white pencil and just sketching out the eye shape, and filling it in with a white acrylic paint. Okay, here I'm just going over the white with some silver. And I want to give her a nice silver eyeshadow too. Now I'm filling in her iris with a nice periwinkle kind of blue color. And of course I had to pack on some glitter. Shiny. Now the scary part, the eyeliner. Just taking a very small brush and some black paint and trying not to mess it up. With a big dotting tool, I'm gonna stamp on her pupils. Here she is so far, looking cute. I did the eye shines off camera. Not on purpose, I actually forgot to turn the camera on. But here I'm just taking some pastels and giving her a slight blush before I seal her face. Now it's time for rerooting. I'm gonna take this silver hair that I got from AliExpress and my homemade rerooting tool and just start putting in her hair plugs. This is very tedious, so I recommend listening to some music or watching some Netflix. Now that all the rerooting's done, I'm going to take some tacky glue and put it inside her head and in the body, just to make sure none of the hair plugs fall out. And using my trusty E6000 glue, I'm going to glue the horns to her head and fiddle with them for way too long, make sure they're in the right place. And with that, she's basically done. So let's check out those final reveal shots.